bike back again. It's fucking freezing this morning. I think it's about 2 degrees. So I've went and got 2 pairs of pants on, a freaking puffer jacket. We should be good. Hopefully, if the Beamer warms up. Man, it's cold. The reason we took this is heated grips, baby. Thank God for that. Oh, fucking hell, that's freezing. Alright, so the one thing we want to talk about today, well, there's actually 2 things. First, it's been the increase of guys in Australia starting to get pretty reckless on bikes. I've seen a lot over in Sydney, and there's guys doing like wheelies through like that Sydney tunnel there. And man, it's crazy. It looks, you know, it does look awesome, and I don't think anyone riding bikes are going to deny that. And then you got the other guys that are sort of starting to run from cops. And I think this started in probably America, where, you know, you got saw a lot of guys, you know, get clout from running from cops and, or like taunting them, running away, you know, and then continue to post it on social media. And I think that's come to Australia and trying to apply those same laws. America, I have no idea. You know, I know those guys can be pretty strict over there, but I'm not sure about state to state. Over in Australia, like, anti-hoon laws are insane. Like, if you get done, like, especially going 40 plus k's over the speed limit, like, they've got grounds in some states to crush your bike. Now, I don't know, you know, how many people that's happened to, or I've only known one car to get crushed, and that's because he did a burnout coming from like a side street, and instead of just like getting off the accelerator, he's done a full loop and then taken off, and yeah, the car was crushed almost straight away. And that was in New South Wales. Over in WA, I'm not too sure how strict they are with the hoon laws, but I know one thing, and I've had a fair few mates that have been cops, is every cop loves a chase. Now, there's a pretty slippery slope. So you start on a bike, you've got a sick bike, right? And you've got most power stock from any car you could really buy, you know, within the same price range. As soon as you take that off, you know, as soon as you take that out of the dealership, you've got all this power and all this, you know, speed that you just want to use. And I'm no saint, like, I 100% agree, it's good fun to twist the throttle and enjoy what you've got, but I think there's a time and place for it, and I think you have to be very careful, especially in Australia. Now, the cops here, like, most of their call-outs are domestics, or, you know, they're just like everyday jobs. You don't really get too many chases from day to day. So as soon as there's a chase on, or someone knows there's a bike that's hooning around, like, everyone's keen to get involved in it. And that's where it brings a lot more attention. I've even seen it, like, lately, it gets around on like social media of like clips of guys like trying to run from cops in WA, and they're like, you know, they're gapping a Ford Ranger, and it's like, yeah, of course you're going to gap the Ford Ranger, man. Like, it's a Ranger, but it's going to lead to like a slippery slope, because now, you know, they've got that much technology these days, and I know I've seen it. Like, all they need is a description of your bike. They don't even need your plate. They'll get a description of your bike, a description of what you're wearing, and then the next time you're out or chilling, you're going to get hit. And, you know, if that's a hit you want, I think you're probably, you know, in this for the wrong reasons. And, you know, let's just say that's part of it. Like, you like the attention of going fast, and, you know, you blew up online for it. Well, if we game plan that, so, you know, you've started your following from, let's say, running from cops, or, you know, doing wheelies through tunnels. Now, what are you going to do for the next video? We've got to either do the same thing with, you know, add a different playlist to it or something, or you've got to increase the level of, you know, danger, or whatever you want to call it. So you've already started on this very slippery slope of, yeah, now my following wants me to see me do these dangerous things. And hey, like, some guys get away with it for ages. Some guys, you know, caught straight away, and the worst ones wreck and die. And I'm not saying I wish that on anyone, but I just think that guys need to think about what we're doing before you start running, because as soon as you start running, now you've opened up this whole can of worms that, you know, you can't really go back on. And if you've got a sick bike that you love, now that's going to be a target. And you're like, oh yeah, you know, you know, it's pretty, what do you say, like it's pretty stock or whatever, or it blends in. I can tell you, no bike blends in. Like, anyone, you've seen it, like everyone who sees a bike always has a look at it or figures out what's going on, especially if you've got like one of the bigger bikes. Like they don't blend into anything. So I think that sort of argument is invalid. And yeah, I guess what I'm saying it is like, I don't want people to start using like bikes as a platform to just do more dangerous things to generate, you know, attention online. Because after all, the attention online is never going to be worth your bike you have or the health that you've got. Now, you know, there might be some people that disagree with that, there might be some people that, you know, agree, but I think if anything, just take it to consideration before you want to go do that and post it. Because in Australia now, they can use your social media as evidence. So if you're posting yourself doing, you know, 200-300 kilometers an hour on a bike, they can yeah, they'll take that and be like, yeah, this is the same description, you know, you're going through here, the similar area, like you're gonna get done. And like, you just don't have the freedom that you might have in America or that you see these other guys do online. So I think, you know, for the younger fellas that are having fun and enjoying their bike, and they're like, oh, you know, I want to take it online or something, maybe just consider what you're going to do. Now, talk about that, like what else can you do, right? So a lot of the time you've got a bit of power, there's always the track. The track's a great spot. I think, you know, I haven't been to the ones around here, but the atmosphere is great. They've got guys out that will teach you, and you can take your bike way faster on a track than what you could do on a public road. Like, I'm doing fucking 40 at the moment. Like 40. On a track I could be doing like 180 going into a turn. You know what I mean? Well, it just seems like a bit of a no-brainer. Now, it is freezing, so I sound fucking terrible, but yeah, I think it's important to get that message across. Hopefully people sort of see it, you know, before it becomes a craze, like, and then all the cops are just going to target it. Like, that's going to be the next, you know, epidemic. Which, you know what I mean, you know how the media fucking plays it. They just try to blow it up to more than what it is, and it's only a very select few people that do it, that, you know, make a bad name for everyone, and then, you know, cops are out here targeting bikes 24/7. And I think that's sort of, you know, if you care about what you're riding and you care about what you want to do and you want to do it a long time, then yeah, man, doing wheelies through tunnels and posting it probably isn't the smartest choice. And then, you know, maybe their reasons are different, you know, maybe they go, oh, you know, I don't care if I live or die, and, you know, if that's the truth, then I feel sorry for you, bro. Like, life's better than that, and you don't need to risk everything just for you know, just for views or whatever it is. I mean, go enjoy something else, or, you know, if you want to be like that, then get to a track or closed circuit where you can go harder and in the right environment. There's been a few videos that are like surfaced of like one of the guys, you know, I'm pretty sure it's in America, it looks like America. He's doing like 300 and like rear ends a car because he doesn't have the like the car doesn't have lights on, and it's happened so quick, and the guy's like through the back window, like obviously dead. But I'm like, man, like that was just such a waste of, you know, he's trying to enjoy yourself. There's better places to do it, and there's better ways to do it. And I just don't want, yeah, younger people thinking that's the way to go and that's what they have to do, because you definitely don't, man. Like, you don't have to do that stuff. And the other ones, so let's say you don't want to go to a track because, you know, protective gear is stupidly expensive, and I fully agree with that, then maybe invest in a little dirt bike. You can get like a 125 dirt bike second hand for a couple of grand off Marketplace, and you can get way more sideways. You can learn how to wheelie that. You can jump the fucking thing, like that's, and honestly, like, from riding dirt bikes, it's the most fun you can have while being that reckless without consequence. I mean, yeah, you still probably wreck, but hopefully you're going to hit dirt a little bit, and then if you hit the dirt, you can bounce. But yeah, that's where we're sitting at, and I just see it yeah, becoming more popular. And like, yeah, I'm a you know, I'm not saying I'm a saint and I don't do anything wrong, because that's not true either, but it's just time and place, and you know, what is this really worth to you? Because man, like, you can't go 200 kilometers an hour and hit the brakes, like, it just doesn't work that, you know, that well all the time. So that was the main thing I wanted to sort of get across today, is hopefully that people see this and be, you know, think about what they might want to do, or where they want to go with it. Like, if your idea is to make bike content and you're like, how do I do it? Then try to make it back to yourself. Like, it doesn't need to be about you being like doing dangerous stunts, or maybe you want to be a stunt rider, so then go and do like stunt riding courses and learn how to do that. You're going to be way better and get way more enjoyment out of that than just trying to figure yourself out on the road. You know, maybe you're a TikTok kid and just want to dance next to your bike, then fuck. Gay, but like, whatever, man. But yeah, I just think, you know, in Australia especially, that we need to curb this idea of, hey, I need to get on my bike and do some crazy fucking, you know, wheelie or hit crazy speeds in and out of traffic to get attention, because yeah, there's only one way that really ends, man, and that's with you either in a coffin or in jail and your bike gone. But yeah, that's enough of that. And honestly, like, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not trying to say you're an idiot or whatever. Like, I don't take that opinion. Everyone's got their own reasons for doing something. It's just, I just don't want everyone to be influenced by it. But there's a bloke in Brizzy that, if you've seen him, it's always like CBR versus like highway or something like that. And he rides in like a stringlet and just goes as hard as he can. And man, like, that dude, like, honestly, that dude has a death wish. Like, that's what he wants to die on that bike. I mean, by his posture, like, he's, you know, he's going stupid speeds through traffic. He's wearing no protective gear. I'm surprised he even has a helmet on, to be honest. Like, he doesn't care, and I think he's pretty mentally ill from it, like, or mentally ill from something else, and that's what he's taken it out on. And like, I feel for that guy, but people shouldn't look to that guy for support, because he's gonna, or, you know, or as guidance, because that guy can't even support himself. Like, he's literally asking to die on that bike. And yeah, I just don't think that's something that, you know, young guys probably see too much, or understand that, you know, this bloke's broken. He's not going to be a good role model for you. He's not going to help, you know, whatever attention or whatever your goal is. It's gonna make it worse. So yeah, anyway, enough on that. Now let's get back to bike. So I had a guy ask about the V2 on one of the videos, and how it compares to the ZX6R. Now, I haven't spent too much time on the ZX6R. You know, I think they're great bikes, but how it compares to the V2, they're two pretty different worlds. I mean, the V2 I've sort of spoke about how it picks up early, and you have a lot of fun down low, and, you know, even through the mid-range speed, like, there's plenty of power there. But then you get to the top end and you feel the big, like, drop off a big curve, which, you know, is normal. But if you're used to riding 4-cylinder bikes, or, you know, anything high power, that will probably upset you. For anyone else starting out, I think the V2 is a great intermediate bike. Like, you know, it's that 890cc. It's so fun. All the weight is really low on it. So when you get into a corner, it's just, you feel like you have support in it. You feel like you have, like, confidence to lean the bike over, or to, you know, to push around a corner a little bit. Where on most other bikes, that feeling is a lot hard to get. Like, you have to, you know, prime your suspension going in with braking, and then you get that confidence. The V2 feels like it just has it there. You know, you don't have to trail brake and feel the suspension load up, and, you know, at high speeds obviously you probably would, but straight out the back, like, just riding it with minimal experience, yeah, it feels great, and it's going to fill you full of confidence to become a better rider, and then understand how a bike's supposed to feel under you as well. Now, a lot of guys have the issue with, like, you know, I don't know when my tires are warm, and that comes with time on your bike, I think. Like, especially around street, you go over, you know, different surfaces, and you might have a bit of, like, gravel or something on the road. Here you always have sand on the road, the best way to learn how tyres feel is, I honestly reckon, get on a dirt bike. A dirt bike's going to give you the idea of like what it feels like for a tyre to slide out, how to control it, how to position your body to better control your slide. It's a great little, you know, and the skills transfer straight over. So yeah, if you're really struggling with like understanding tyres, and you know you're trying to watch YouTube videos or whatever, you're trying to learn but it's not making sense when you try to transfer it to your bike, then if you can, get on a dirt bike. If you can't, I would say as soon as you get on your bike in the morning, rip up the highway. Go up the highway for, let's just say, like 20 minutes. Get some heat into the tyres, and then go around the corner, you know, go around a few roundabouts and feel how the bike feels under you. You'll feel the tyre wants to grab. Like, it doesn't feel like you're on top of the surface, it feels like you're part of the surface. And then the next day, go out and be very careful, but go around the corner slow and just feel how your tyres are. And you almost feel like you're on top of it. You'll be scared to lean. Like, that's the two difference between like cold and warm tyres. And that's what I sort of did to understand mine a little bit better a few times. Was like, I'm just going to go out, make sure the tyres are warm, you know, make sure they're at least, you know, up to some sort of temperature. I don't know the optimal fucking operating temperature, but yeah, and then go out when they're cold and try to turn a few corners, like with obviously great care. Like, you shouldn't be hooking into a corner with cold tyres. I'm not saying that. I'm saying just go out and just chill around. So yeah, back to the V2 and the ZX6R. They're very different bikes. Both of them are great. I think if you have the money and you really want you know, a good riding experience, like all round, you can't beat the V2. It's, yeah, 26,000 in Australia. The exhaust sounds pretty terrible, so you're going to want to upgrade that. The exhaust from Ducati is about 4,800 or something like that. So you're looking at about 30k. Now for a ZX6R, I think they start around 19 or 18. You're not going to have the same feel. It's a completely different feel to the bike. It feels more unpredictable. The power delivery isn't as smooth, or like especially through the mid-range. It's, you know, and it's obviously a slower bike, so yeah, it's up to you what you want to get, but it's cheap. So you can put an exhaust for that for what, like 2-3 grand, and then you can obviously go and you know, spend your money elsewhere if that's what you want to do. Maybe if it's your first bike, maybe it's a good idea to go and get the ZX6R, but if you have the money, the V2 is not going to disappoint you. Look at that thing. Perth love doing this. See, you can't turn there, but like they always do it. Perth drivers, man, they're shocking. Worst in Australia by far. Yeah, but that's yeah, if you're looking at starting out and you have the money, then the V2 is going to fill you full of confidence. Yeah, it's probably a bit quick, like, you know, but if you're if you want a bike you're not going to outride, or you're not going to, you know, you'll want to stay for a while, yeah, you can't go wrong with the V2. It's just a price tag on it. And then Ducati charge you in Australia 150 bucks to work on an hour. So you just got to remember that your servicing is going to be through the roof. And then obviously insurance is through the roof too. Man, it's cold. It's beautiful here in the morning, man. Like, I don't know when's the last time that road down here and I wasn't still just being like far out. So that whole time I've been riding now my tyres are starting to feel like they're a bit like they're warmed up, or they're getting warm. I mean, we haven't been going fast, but like before, you probably saw I swung pretty wide on the corner because they just didn't feel good, and I'm not gonna push that to you know, try to go tighter around the corner on the fucking road. Like, if it doesn't feel right, just back out of it and, you know, release the throttle and then go from there. Oh yeah, I want to go down this marina. It looks pretty busy, to be honest. Yeah, I want to reiterate, like, the main reason today is, like, I just don't want, you know, people in Australia adopting the same culture as America and thinking they're going to be treated the same, because Australia's fucking strict. Like, it's insane how much how much they crack down on, like, you know, road laws and guys on bikes, and yeah, and it's because there's nothing else for them to do. Like, you don't have shootings in Australia. It's just domestics with, you know, the locals, and then, man, maybe you got a few guys for, like, I don't know, drink driving or something like that. That's pretty much as bad as it gets. So whenever they're like, oh yeah, someone's in a chase, or, you know, this bike's running, every cop is like, fuck yeah, let's go, like, let's go catch this guy. And then the next time you go out, man, like, you've got to change your bike. Like, you can't keep it the same, because they will get you, and they do have a database on you to track you. Like, it's arrogant to think that they don't have that capability or technology to do it. And there's cameras everywhere. There's cameras absolutely everywhere. Like, not speed cameras, like, you know, like monitoring cameras that sit there and just monitor traffic. And there's even ones that monitor oh man, this stuff's slippery. There's even ones that monitor, like, noise. So you can be going down there and hooning around, and they'll be like, alright, sweet, now we've got, you know, this black S1000 that loves to hoon around and is making too much noise. So yeah, don't think you can outsmart it, because you can't. You will get 1 caught, 2 hurt, or you're going to end up, you know, in a bad place with a big fine that you have to pay, and yeah, then you're going to be sad because you can't fucking ride your bike, man. And then you've only got yourself to blame. So there's also more on the bike news. Norton's released a new street bike, and I don't know, it looks pretty sick. Like, they've went back to the, you know, the no big wing, and people are one or two ways with it. They either love, like, the front spoiler, which, you know, I think it's good, or they love like the clean, like, naked sort of look, you know what I mean? Like, there's no crazy fairings on it, it's all just, like, sleek. And man, I'm stuck between two worlds, because, like, I love the front fairing on this. Like, I love how the wing sticks out and it looks low, looks angry, and you got your little shark fin, like, gills around here. I reckon they look sick. But then, you know, you have something like the V2 where it's just, like, clean and neat, and it's all just, like, it looks like it's shaped by wind. Like, that's how it'd be shaped. Yeah, I don't know, man. The two worlds I love. And that new Norton, I forget what it is. I'm not sure if it's like a 800 or 1000. I just watched a quick video of it the other day, and I loved it. I couldn't think of anything better. But yeah, being Norton, and I don't know how good their reputation's going to be after coming back from, you know, almost going bankrupt. Same with KTM, I guess, but yeah, KTM's a little bit different. I think CF Moto and KTM work pretty closely together now, so I couldn't see them going broke. Also, everyone's hyping up these that new CF Moto fucking the V4 or whatever it is, and you say, like, oh, beat Ducati, blah blah. Like, yeah, I mean, a lot of that, you know, maybe a lot of that's down to rider, but you can't make your first sports bike you can't come out and make, like, your first 1000cc sports bike and be like, oh, it's perfect, and it's beaten, like, a, you know, an absolute titan of the industry. I think a lot of that came down to, like, you know, race sort of conditions, specs, and then obviously the riders on it too. So yeah, I would take that with a grain of salt. And then the front aero thing, how it can, like, adjust, like, that's definitely a gimmick, man. Like, no one needs that. No one even needs a front wing on the bike. Like, for a sports bike you ride around the street, if anything, it just, like, wastes fuel. Like, and I mean, yeah, maybe there's a few guys going hard and being like, you don't understand it, you don't ride like I do, blah blah. But man, if you're riding like that on the street, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, go to a track, prove yourself. You're not proving it to anyone doing that on the street. But yeah, today was a bit of a yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't make it, because the content, like, everyone's content's going the other way. Everyone's going for, you know, wheelies, running from cops, like, there's high risk activity that isn't good for you, man. Like, it's not gonna benefit you at all. And like, yeah, your video might blow up online, but guess what? You gotta do again. Like, you gotta go out and do the same thing, if not better. Like, and everyone watching it doesn't care about you. They don't care if you lose your, you know, your amazing bike. They don't care if you rear-end a car and yourself. Like, you just need to, yeah. You just need to think about what you're going to do, and if that's what a path you want to go down to, maybe go to a track, maybe get a dirt bike and get confident on a dirt bike, and then go into a track, or just be smart. Yeah. And in Australia, just do not run. Don't run. As soon as you start running, man, your bike is targeted. Like, they have everything they need on it. Everything's already recorded. You'd be like, oh, they, you know, I'll just change my fairings. It's like, well, you got to change your fairings every time you run from the cops to make your content. And then if you keep running, they keep getting away. Guess what? They're just going to start blanket, like, charging all the bikes. Like, well, not charging, but targeting. They'll see a bike and be like, all right, well, let's pull this guy over, like, for no reason. And then, guess what's going to happen? Everyone in this biker community is going to be like, oh, we're getting targeted for no reason. It's like, yeah, we're getting targeted because these guys don't pull their head in. I'll just chill home now and, yeah, call it a day and get this video uploaded, and yeah, but to reiterate, like, I don't want to rip on anyone, and I just don't think that guys are doing that are thinking about longevity, and they definitely don't care about you and what's going to happen to you if you try to follow them doing the same thing. You know, just don't make yourself a target. You know, and go perfect your skills somewhere where you can make sure you're comfortable on your bike, and then, man, you'll have the most fun ever. You have the best fun on your bike doing your own thing, rather than trying to copy, or not necessarily copy, but try to, like, keep up with what you think that yeah, Instagram wants you to do. So yeah, that's it, man. That's it, and I'll see you next time. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, but have a good one.